Hey everybody, welcome to Fighting Fandom. We're live. We're gonna get this sent out here and let's make sure we're streaming here. But yeah, today we are going to be talking the same subject that we did on the first live stream, but we are going to go into a different person, a different account, as you can tell from the name of the video. Um, yeah, I'm going to play the intro here and then we'll get into it. I'm about to share this out, so I just wanted to get this video out. All right, let's do that. All right, here we go. Let's do it. All right, so a lot of things have happened since 4 days ago. I think whenever I did this same subject, same paper, but a different party, a different YouTube channel. The first one we did was on Geeks and Gamers, Nerdrotic, and the RK Outpost. I said Outpost a couple of times. I think I kept wanting to say Outhouse, but then remembering it was Outpost, I said Poust, as any normal person would. You know, the Poust. But man, after I did, I cut up the live stream just so people could see some of the things that I thought were funny when I watched it back, because I was gonna take like the long form live stream and then do bullet points, maybe like a 5-minute video if people want to catch up. But there was a particular part in that video where I was ranting, and I do that sometimes, but not like that. I couldn't stop laughing for some reason. The absurdity of all of this is, it's so weird because it's like a big giant school fight, and I only went to school to ninth grade, so that's an entirely different story. But I never got to experience the high school thing as much as other people did. So when I see this type of stuff, and I'm like, this is what it feels like, because it's kind of like pretentious, but at the same time not, because people's livelihoods are at stake here. So what is this all about again? Well, as you remember from the last show, there was a document that was released on the Rewriting Ripley pod. I guess it's a podcast. So let's switch over here to our extra mon. There we go. So this was the letter that was sent out, and it had to do with if it's like a list of complaints against certain channels. And what it started out saying, it said, last week, or dear Team YouTube, last week, actor Amanda Stenberg posted candid comments on to Instagram about the rampage of. I think that's another thing too. Like, when you guys say like rampage of vitriol, like, I don't think you realize. I mean, what it is. I know that in the YouTube business, you got to make things big. Same with the writing business. You got to make things seem bigger than they are. When you say rampage of bigotry, it makes it sound like every single person other than the people writing that statement, they're the only ones not doing it. So I think if you're more concise, I really do, like, I think you would probably have a bigger dog in the fight. Like, I really do. I think you would. And because when people read that stuff, like I said, like me, I'm an outside party. I'm doing this for the channel, but when I read stuff like that, like exactly like rampage of bigotry and vitriol, like I actually read it out loud like that, and because it sounds ridiculous. You could say that she's experienced unnecessary acts of bigotry, or, you know, but vitriol, man. Come on, guys. Stop saying the same damn words for everything. You guys act like you're so unique and so, you know, like, oh, I'm so cool. But you say the same shit. You guys all say the same stuff. I'm surprised some of you people don't like hold hands, sit in a circle, and jerk each other off while you're you're like, yeah, buddy. It's like it's crazy to me. It's insane. It's the same stuff. You go on Twitter or whatever, you could see who's in whose camp, right? Basically, there's like 3 camps. Well, 4. There's 4 camps here. There's the people that are with the Disney Star Wars, and they say the right side, not the right as in politics, but because I was left over here, right? But the other side is not about it. They call it the woke entertainment. So I don't really even like saying the word woke because it sounds stupid. It's like, I don't know. It doesn't sound right. But we'll just say the woke entertainment crowd and the not woke entertainment crowd. Then there's the people that are very curious about it in the fandom, okay? Then there's the people like me who don't give a crap. I just want good shows. Like, I just want good stuff. As long as it's in the spirit of whatever it's adapting. I understand TV's got to change things, stuff like that. I don't get into the whole, what do you think about if this character was white and then they're played by a black person? It just doesn't, I never thought of things that way. Like, I never, when I saw Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood, I didn't sit there and go, I would relate to this more if it was white. If these were all white people, I'd relate to it more. Or Friday, or any of the movies that I like. I never thought that. I never even really heard that until way later in my life, like within the past 5 to 10 years. When I was a kid, we never talked like that. Even anybody, any of them, the Italians, the Greeks, whatever, we all talked about stuff we liked. And everybody, who's your favorite athlete? Who's this? Who's that? We never put the at least to me, we never put the color barrier on there. And I think that's a thing that happens when you're older. I'm sure there's kids, don't get me wrong, please. It's the internet and it's the world. I'm sure there's evidence to refute what I'm saying. I'm speaking from my experience, okay? So let's get over each other. But I think that's more bred when you're older. And that's why I was saying with one of my Star Wars reviews where I was like, if a little kid likes this show or if a little kid likes this movie, don't take that away from them. Don't say all the stupid stuff that people say, like what I'm reading here. I'm sorry, it's dumb. But yeah, anyway. And you'll see why you'll see why it's frustrating. Vitriol that she has received since leading the cast of The Acolyte, the latest addition to the Star Wars universe. Stenberg's whatever experience is not new. In fact, this known tactic was initially provoked by former Breitbart News editor Milo Yiannopoulos. I think I did talk about this in the long live stream. Yeah, this is not a new thing. This wasn't made up by Milo Yiannopoulos. This has been going on forever, people. It's just that we have social media now, so every idiot with a thought can say something. You always talk about the way the arguments go is, okay, well, fine, if it's not illegal, they're not doing anything wrong, fine. But there's going to be consequences then. There's going to have to be consequences to be... Right, you're right. But you also give a platform for everybody to say stuff. You're going to get a lot of stupid people saying stuff. So those are the consequences, and I'm having to put up with them now. It's great. All right. Who aggressively targeted Ghostbusters actor Leslie Jones under the guise of film criticism after prolonged insults against her Ghostbusters character. Okay, so you should have said that. See, this is what you hedged yourself. So I'm wondering who helped you write this, because you're saying it was a prolonged insult against her character. And you said under the guise of film criticism. What under the guise of film criticism? So you're saying harassment But what like you name what he did. Say what he did. Or is it you don't want to say what he did because then that would be liable or whatever that is and you don't want to do that. So you're still what? Giving your opinion. Correct. So we have to keep that in mind. That's the number one thing to keep in mind is the opinion comment, okay? All right. Resulted in her results against her Ghostbusters character resulted in harassment against Jones on Twitter. Yeah, I'm not even Yiannapolis. Claimed Jones was playing the victim when she called for action against the harassment. The aggressive gaslighting of Jones' experience resulted in Yiannapolis being banned from Twitter. Okay, so yeah, he did a lot of things though that these people aren't doing. And when we get to Star Wars Theory's video, we're gonna watch that video and we're gonna talk. There's a few things I wanted to talk about. And I'm not gonna, I don't want to go over, if you've been following this, I'll talk about what happened, but there's a couple of things I want to leave out because they seem personal between the two parties, and I don't really care about the other party. I really don't give a shit about them, but it's not my place I'll give my opinion about it, like we say in opinions, but I'm not gonna, yeah, you'll see what I mean. Anyway. Him being banned from Twitter. Okay, so now that brings me to, we already read the facts and stuff like that, and it's interesting that apparently certain people behind this letter or this whatever this is, yeah, apparently it's been going on for quite some time in other places. That particular thing was about those channels and Milo Yiannopoulos. I can't say his name. I don't know why. It's probably because he's just, yeah, I'm not on, he's not on my radar, as it were. So we're gonna go to Star Wars Theory's video, and then we're gonna talk about a couple things, and yeah, let's do that.
And I know Alex is behind all this, but he's just such a sackless guy that he just can't do it himself, and he has to have his wife do it for him. People aren't watching.
Okay, now see how he has the same document up that I have. I believe I still have it. This is the second page of it. And you can see where this person said, on their tweet, it says, here's screenshots of their manifesto. Can you imagine being that mentally unhinged? You get together as a group in attempts to tell down people just because they disagree. To tell down, huh? All right. And are more popular than you. These people need to see a psychiatrist, dear. So you're probably wondering why I'm talking about this when it's clear that the other portion of the letter or document manifesto was for those channels. Well, here's the thing. Apparently they are linked. And I'm not saying who wrote it, right? Because I don't know for sure. Because it was put out by that Rewriting Ripley pod. At least that, to my knowledge, that's where it was first posted. But there is another channel in the Star Wars world called Star Wars Explained. Now, he can say the names of the people. I'm not going to. I don't know them. I've never met them. And if I did, I'm sure they would hate my guts. And that's not a judgment on you. That's a judgment on me, because I'd probably be very annoying, and you'd be like, "Shut the hell up, dude." Because I'm told I have a very punchable face and punchable, thing about me. So let's talk about. Let's let him finish some of his stuff that he's going to say. As he said, this person, Alex, who is part of the Star Wars theory, and I just named him. Shit. Well, he did. But he's talking about them in the Star Wars Explained podcast. Or whatever the fuck it is. This shit is so stupid to me. It's so dumb. Like, you're trying to take away this dude's ability to make money. That's what he does. He's a full-time fucking YouTuber, and you're so mad that he doesn't like things that you like, and it drives me nuts because you can make up all of these words and excuses and all of these things, but when it comes down to it, it is basically he's more popular and he doesn't like what you like. That's it. There's nothing else. There's nothing else there. Because anybody who can go watch this video, you watch this, it turns into just such insanity between both parties. And I've watched Star Wars Theory for years. I've never talked to him. I don't owe him anything. He's never even said a word to me, okay? But I've watched him. So I don't know him personally, but I've seen his videos, so I know what he talks about. And I know, like, he does not promote any of those things that they're saying. He doesn't. Does he have opinions on things? Yes. And I think it got really big whenever he appeared on Friday Night Tights, which is the Nerdrotic show. And I think just from appearing on that show, you know how people will say to you, who you voting for? Are you for Trump or for the other one? That's how much I care. And it's like you say, no, I don't like Trump. So that obviously to them means you like the other person, right? That's what it means. That's how people talk now. And it's like, no, I don't like either of them. I don't care. I think it's stupid. That doesn't happen here. That does not happen in this video. And you'll see why, and it's just nonsense. It's crazy how people are just willing to say things just to get, like, not even like, I don't want you to be able to post on, YouTube. I want you to be demonetized so you cannot make money anymore. If this is your full job, I want you not to be able to feed your children or pay your employees or feed your family because I don't like your opinion on this particular show, or I don't like your opinion on said actress, actor. Think of that. Even if you have a hateful opinion, even if you do, which I don't think he does have a hateful opinion, but even if you do, you're allowed to. That's not breaking the law. And whenever it's not breaking the actual law, you have to look at whatever service, terms of service, whatever platform put into play, are they breaking those? And we saw in the last time, YouTube responded to this and said, hey, we didn't find any violations. And of course, instead of saying, oh, shit, you know what? You're right. They said, well, we sent you multiple videos and you only said videos. So that means you didn't do what you said you were going to do. And obviously you don't care. It's not exactly, I'm speaking not word for word. And it's like there's no ending with these people. And I'm not talking about these people in general. You know the type I'm talking about. There's just no end. There's no end, dude. And they can't accept any answer other than the one that they want to hear. If they don't hear it, then it's kicking and screaming and being a baby for however long period of time that they could do this until either A, people stop giving them attention, or B, they just get bored. And there's another thing to conquest, there's another thing I need to protest with other people. And it blows my mind because dude seems like a nice guy. Like I every time I see him, he tells people his channel, don't, go after the actors or actresses, don't harass anyone. Let's keep it, legit. And I think that that's pretty nice. I mean, he doesn't even have to say that. But apparently these people think that you have to have control over your audience because these people's audience went to this Instagram and said this, and we looked because it was the same user. We matched. We have so little life that instead of focusing on our own content and making new videos, we are following people's followers to different social media platforms to see what they're saying. and it's bananas. It's bananas. And not that, like I said, I don't know him, but there's a part in the video where he talks about some of his followers go into other Patreon or something like that. And a lot of people made a big deal about that, like he was narcissistic. And as weird as that is, I think he said that people do it of their own. He's not asking anyone to do it. The people just do. And it's like, it's gotten so crazy that it's like pulling out your dick and seeing who could piss the furthest. But then you're both realizing you have your dicks out. That's what this is. So let's listen a little bit more, and then we'll move on.
Watching your stuff, even with all of the free press and extra stuff that Lucasfilm and Disney give you, I mean, maybe that should tell you something. Maybe people just don't like you, and that's a you problem. Take accountability. Is it about This Week in Clickbait? Is it about Alex not being able to sleep at night and you having to freaking coddle him so that he could sleep because another channel was putting out content that was getting more views?
15% off sale.
Well, he said it there. There's nothing else to say. There's nothing else to say. It's over, people. It's over. I can't sum it up any better. If you want to hear about the drama, go to that video. Because I'm telling you now, it's over. Have you ever thought people don't like you? That's a you problem. And you're jealous of him being more popular than you. It's so right. It's so... I don't need to say anything else. Hey, you guys left. Where'd you go? Damn it. The Flash. He's gone. He left. Fuck. So... Oh, I had a whole thing prepared. I really, really did. I had a whole big old thing prepared to talk about this, and honestly, like, I don't want to. That's how fucking ridiculous this is. I'm sure I wouldn't be saying this if I had a big YouTube channel and someone was trying to demonetize me. No, that's if you know me, you know I would be. I'd be like, this is how I fucked that up. What did you do? I didn't like the Acolyte. What do you mean you didn't like the Acolyte? Well, it was this really shitty show, and I said that, the cast sucked, and the writing and directing sucked. It was filmed by an infant. It had some cool fight scenes in it, but like overall, like it was very thin in the lore, and then the stuff they added in was just like such deep cuts where it's like, really? That's how you're gonna make up for this crappy plot? Is throw in some fucking Darth Plagueis? But, apparently I didn't like it, so they're trying to take me for my whole livelihood. Oh, and in 2018, Milo Yiannopoulos said some shit. Fuck. God damn it. Oh, my God. So, you see what I'm saying? It's like, they literally drew up a freaking, a goddamn, like, I'm telling on you to the principal letter. Okay, well, I will say this. There is something I do want to comment on. Okay, so under where it says the action required, okay, this is bananas. This is crazy shit, okay? It says, Star Wars fandom refuses to watch another marginalized actor or fan be singled out by prolonged racist harassment from a handful of YouTubers as a result of YouTube's inaction. So, I would like you to provide the evidence, because some of the stuff that you said, it's like I've looked at the resources. I don't see, like, there's, like I said, there was one part, and it has nothing to do with Star Wars theory, that I could see could be construed as racist, but it's actually not. It's just the fear from white people by saying certain words, and it wasn't a racist word, but that's honestly my true feelings. And instead of coming out and, like, you did this anonymously, so it shows what a fucking coward you are. If you believe in something so much where you're gonna fuck up someone's life, you need to put your fucking face in front of it. Stop being a pussy. Stop being a little shill. Come out and fucking stand behind it. You know, for once in your life, stop being a little bitch. Come on camera. You can fucking talk to me. I have no subscribers. I have, like, none. I got, like, 25. And I'm going to continue to do this because everybody's got to start somewhere, right? I'll fucking talk to you, and I'll actually let you say what you want to say. All right? I'm not going to talk like this to you. I'll talk normally. But doing this and hiding behind it is such a fucking gutless move. It is. It's such a gutless move. And if someone has come out, or they did, or whatever, I thought I heard that they wanted to remain anonymous. I thought I read some tweets. But if that's the case, then I'm sorry if someone came out. That's on me for not knowing the information. But from what I've seen and heard, they're remaining anonymous. Now, there are rumors about who it was or who signed off on it. That's not... Until I see the person who actually wrote the thing and they say, yes, I did, I'm not going to say that there's an actual person who did it, right? It obviously had to get done by somebody. Unless the acolyte, in its wake of horribleness, somehow infused nanomachines to create an anti-Star Wars theory person, and they wrote this. Yeah, do you see how stupid that sounds whenever I said it? That's how you sound! That's how you sound coming off of this document. That's what you sound like. You sound stupid. Wow. Hey guys, we are sick and tired of our actors. Are they your friends? No. Do you know them personally? No. So you know they have lawyers, and, like, so did the studios. If they thought this was a real problem and could go after them, they would in court. But since they're not and they can't, what do you think gives you the right to go after someone who's just giving their opinion on it? You don't! Because you're crazy. And it's hard to talk to crazy people. Because crazy people, when you're saying something like, look, they're not breaking the law, YouTube watched one of the videos, regardless if you wanted them to watch 10, they'll get around to all the stuff, but from what they saw, they said it didn't violate any of their terms of service. You didn't like that fucking answer, so you're just gonna go until you hear the answer you want to hear, like we were talking about before. So, I don't get it. Maybe it's just because I'm a different type of person. If someone tells me no, I'm like, oh, okay, no. It's like, for me, it's like the pronoun thing, right? I don't care if you have pronouns, but I don't have to do anything about it. And I've never walked up to someone and went, hi, he, hi, him. I usually say, yo, what's your name? What do you want to be called? Oh, that? Okay. And when describing said person, I just used their name. It was he. Like, think of all that stuff. Like, think of all the little type of rules you have to go through just to be a human being. It's like memorizing an NFL playbook. It is exhausting. And thankfully for me, I don't care and I don't abide by any of that stuff. I'm not disrespectful to someone. You could say, well, not accepting their pronouns is disrespectful. I say, well, calling me by anything but my name is disrespectful. So, like, we all have different opinions on what is and what isn't. As long as we treat each other nicely, that's my opinion. I don't have to respect you, or you don't have to respect me either. And the faster you get okay with those scenarios, it's gonna be a lot easier on your life. Trust me, it will be. You'll see things a lot more clearly, and you'll probably still be a douche. Yeah, it's really hard to wipe off that type of douche. That's for like days when not so fresh is feeling not so fresh. So. All right, so let me find this part in this video where he, cause man, he destroyed them right at the beginning, so it was hard to just not deal with that. Let me find this here.
Is now
Ryan Kinnell RK Outpost and
Okay.
GMC
I
Sia.
hate ads.
It's the
And
truck.
I should have put on ad block.
Or get $3,500 per.
hate campaigns if this behavior is permitted to continue with no repercussions. Now, look, I probably would have commented on this in a tweet or something. Yet the fact that you put my name in this is so unbelievably effed up, man. Like, first of all, you have to prove that this is a hate campaign. The only hate campaign I see here are you people that have been constantly throwing hate. Okay, the boys can defend themselves, and they want to go to court for that. They can do that. They can destroy these people. No problem. I fully believe that. The only hate.
Okay, so there we go. Let me get this last part in. That's all we're gonna watch
Campaign
from
I
this is
see
what I
here is the hate campaign that Molly Damon, Star Wars Explained, and a lot of these other Star Wars YouTubers have been leading against me for years.
Okay, so like I said, not worried about the people's names, but I'll just say their channel. From that other channel, they're apparently in on this and they've been trying to get Star Wars Theory demonetized forever because he shows a bunch of messages between him and the main guy from there, which the people had come out and said like that it's messed up that he released private messages. Well, they're also to him and from him, so like he can show that. And I think that's where this whole thing, if you think about what that was said right there, and that was a tweet, I saw it. If you think about that right there, that is exactly what the problem is with everybody, because they're taking something that may be morally objectable for their own morality and acting like it's criminal and should be punished from there. So like that's to me is like when you start doing that, that's a very slippery slope, because then you become basically your own god of how you disseminate what is and what isn't, what's right and what's wrong. And that is messed up. The dude like basically straight up owned them right at the beginning of the video, because that is the same thing that they're talking about in all of these documents is the same thing that I just talked about, that tweet, and what he basically talked about. Like there's no denying it. It's just because you think something is wrong, okay, doesn't mean that it's against the law, or especially when it comes to opinion-based media, because that's what we are. It's YouTube. It's an opinion-based medium whenever we have talking heads like this. And I feel that the longer and harder that you try to prove that what you're saying morally objectable is criminally offensive, I think you lose the plot, because then you're going to start going after everybody for everything. And that's extremely, extremely hard to do. And like he said, the other guys can defend themselves and they can, take them to court, whatever. But yeah, it's like the only hate campaign that I've seen through all of this. Now, don't get me wrong, because I would be lying if I didn't say I see stupid ass tweets in the Star Wars fandom. Some dumb stuff, some racist stuff, some dumb. But you know what else I also see? I also see dumb tweets on Twitter that have nothing to do with Star Wars. That have nothing to do with movies or TV or anything in general. They're just stupid and dumb. So there are those type of people out there. You got to remember. It's like Joe Rogan said, the dumb are outbreeding the smart at an alarming rate, okay? So you're going to have a lot of stupid ass opinions. And when you have a platform that everybody connects into and can read at any point in time, there you go. But the ultimate choice remains that you don't have to listen. And I was trying to make this point earlier. It's like these people, it feels like these people spend more time trying to demonetize or tattletale on or all of this shit more than their own content on their own channel, because there's only so many hours in the day, right? And trust me, like when you're new, at least I am, and you don't have the money to hire an editor and all that stuff. I mean, I could. It would just be dumb because I'm going to do it anyway. Like I said, my channel is going to be me. It's going to be all me. I'm never saying that I'm going to blow up, but if it did someday, it would still be all about the viewers. It would still be all about our interaction together. That's what I like. I like when I get comments or if people have something to say. So we got Corrupted Perlers and Matt something in the chat. Corrupted Perlers said most people don't think that way. Yes, we like to hang out with everyone. And Matt something says, I need to go back and figure out who I could have blamed for all the shows I actually liked getting canceled. He said, I wasn't aware that was an option at the time. And that's it. You know, like, I'm being honest. Like, if you look at my things, I had this whole big thing prepared. But right when he started out and he said what he said and he just owned the shit out of him, I was like, you know what? There's nothing else to say, but we could still talk about it, but in the terms of it's opinion versus fact, and they construe opinions as facts, and that's been a problem with people for a very long time. That's not a new thing, and I find it hard to understand people that go that way. Like, think of it like, you know how in the world now, it's a lot harder to have anything go without it being videotaped. There's always a camera somewhere, or you know, something is going on. Back whenever I was a kid, you know, we had rumors that would come around, and you'd be like, you'd talk to someone new and be like, oh yeah, I heard that rumor. Oh yeah, that you know, this is the generation of coming from. No, not when the person is getting dumber, but the technology is getting better. You take the phone away from them, and they're sticking their feet in their nose and their fingers in their asses. Because that's what they are, asses. Yes. But I think that's an issue. And until we start getting away from that, when you live in these opinion-based bubbles, that's what happens. That's what this turns into. You're going after a nice dude, man. You're jealous that his channel is 3.3 million. You were around before him. That's it. He makes a ton of money. Awesome. Good for him. He put the work in. Did you notice how he didn't come to you and ask you all these weird-ass questions? You went to him. I'm just here to extend an olive branch because it's new in the Star Wars community. Like, dude, anybody who's anybody, especially if you were an ex-drug addict, you know that setup right there. Just came over to say hi, say what's up. Yeah. See how you doing. We all know that little game. I've done it. I was a huge piece of shit for a long time. So, Yeah, man. I feel bad. I feel bad for the guy. I do. Just that he has to put up with this type of shit. Because I'm sure he's gotten tons of death threats. All the stuff that it's funny because guaranteed fans of that letter and that document are saying tons of shit to him and about him. I fucking guarantee it. But they're gonna complain that they don't want their actors, the ones that have getting paid millions to do all the stuff, that have actors that have coverage from the studio that they're in, all that stuff. Because they need fucking Dingle Dixon from Star Wars Explained to stick up for fucking the rapping Amanda Stenberg. Like, Jesus Christ. It's like ridiculous. Like, it blows my mind. Like, how dare you say something about Al Pacino? Al, I know you don't know me, but I'm going to stick up for you. I'm sticking my leg out there for you, Al. That's right. Ha! And it seems to be coming from this medium. A lot of, like, what I would call nerd stuff that whenever I was young, like my brother's in the chat now. I was I love sports. I played sports, but I was a nerd growing up. I played in my basement a lot by myself, playing Nerf mini hoop and reading comic books and playing with army men. My brother showed me a lot of different, his friends were into comics or whatever. We had the Marvel trading cards and, that type of thing, and it got me into that stuff. But it seems like there's a new wave of nerd that's not really a nerd, but they get really, 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 really attached to these media properties. And it's a very small foundation. Like, when on that paper, when they were like, the Star Wars fandom has basically had enough. And it's like, really? Because this dude's channel is 3.3 million subscribers. Nerdrotic's over 1 million. Those people, it doesn't seem like it's a minority anymore. It looks like the majority. Look at all the trailers that get ratioed. Where, like, people have been saying, where was the outcry when Willow got canceled? It's crazy to me, man. It's completely bizarre. I always had a hard time understanding people, and because I always wanted to know why people did stuff, and I've had a very hard time with that my whole life, and this gets even more bizarre by the day. But in my opinion, and we'll end here because, like I said, I thought I was gonna be talking for like an hour straight. This dude in the first 5 minutes just totally crushed them. And I was like, there's nothing left to say. There really isn't. I want to see where this goes, but I appreciate Star Wars Theory. Got a great channel. Go check it out. He does some really cool stuff. Check out his Vader movie. The first piece, I guess the second is coming out this year or at the beginning of next year. Something like that soon. But, yeah, man. It's bizarre how entitled some of these people are. It's bizarre. Some of the crazy shit that you will read if you just look on Twitter or any social media, and that's why a lot of people stay off of social media, because of stupid shit like this. And I didn't know about this type of stuff until I started. It was when was it? Might have been the first season of Rings of Power. And I started seeing, like, whoa, this is kind of wild. And the MCU. Because I was excited when they were making MCU movies for a while. But then, it just, to me, they got worse and worse and worse. But the fandoms, whew, my God. It was bizarre. But anyway, my name's Steve. This is Fighting Fandom. I'm sorry it wasn't nearly as long. But dude, the whole thing is so stupid. If anybody's out there and they listen to this, please just hear this. Grow the fuck up. Stop wasting people's time. You can't fix the world, even though you think you can, because your mommy told you could do anything in your life when they were lying and they hated you all the time. And that's it. They didn't like you. They knew you were gonna grow up to be wanting to speak to the manager. And I just grow the fuck up. Seriously. Put all that effort into making your channel better. Put all that effort into something else. But I don't think actors and actresses need people to stand up for them. They have enough. And when you speak for the fandom as a whole, that's bullshit. Because I'm not a fan of that at all. And while I might be a fair weather friend, I've seen all the Star Wars movies in the theater. Because in '97 I saw them that summer. So yeah, I've seen every single one. And I've watched most of the shows. I still have Ahsoka and something else to watch. But I still watch them. But I don't agree with this. This is bullshit, man. So instead of like you guys hiding behind your YouTube, get over your fucking egos. Why don't you all get on a live cast and talk to each other? Instead of these pissy pants fucking dumbass. Check out this note, guys. These are the facts. On this day, they said this, and I don't like it. So YouTube, take this and wrap it around your wiener of love and tell me how right I am. You're dumb. Yep. You're dumb. Go fuck yourself. Good night. No, but seriously, anyway. No. Good night.